Hello, welcome to Rando Tech Info. So today we're going to be talking about the Google Pixel 6 Pro and charging speeds. Now normally I wouldn't dedicate an entire video to the charging speed of a phone, but this particular feature on this particular phone has gotten a lot of attention and even a little bit of controversy. I also recently acquired a really cool tool that will help us see the actual charging speed throughout the phone's entire charge. More on that in a minute. The controversy started when Google mentioned fast charging during the Pixel 6 launch event.
And we've made big improvements to boost every aspect of performance, from the all-day adaptive battery with fast charging speeds.
Now, fast charging means different things to different people, so people seeking clarification went onto Google's Pixel 6 website, where Google claims the Pixel 6 and the 6 Pro can pull a 50% charge in about 30 minutes. So when people started seeing 2-hour charge times for their Pixels, it didn't take long for them to realize the math didn't add up. Now, a lot of different people and sources have talked about this since it all went down, but I wanted to get to the bottom of this issue once and for all. So this right here is the AOHI, AOHI? I don't know, 65-watt charge brick, or cube as it were. But what makes this particular charge cube perfect for this job isn't actually the cube itself. It's the cord that comes with the cube. Did I hit my camera when I did that? Because at the end of the cord is a little LCD readout that tells you the speed your device is currently charging. It's really cool. Like seriously, since I got the thing last week, I've been running around my house charging everything I can find with a USB-C port. Normally, when I get my hands on a device like this, I would feel the need to do my own review on it. Fortunately, I don't have to do that here because my man over at VDoes Tech has already done that for us. In fact, he's the reason I even know this device exists, so a shout out to him for that. And if you find reviews of this type of tech interesting, you might want to think about heading over to his channel, checking out his wares, and giving him a sub.
I might just do that.
So the plan is to take the Pixel 6 Pro and charge it up from 0 to 100 using Google's own 30-watt charge brick. And we're not just going to see how long it takes to get a full charge, we're going to be checking the speed of the charge throughout the entire charging cycle. So enough talk, let's charge. So here you see the setup. We have the Pixel 6 Pro hooked up to our special charging cord, which is plugged into the wall using the Google 30-watt brick, and we have our timer running below. And for obvious reasons, we're going to speed things up a bit till we get to some interesting parts. So you can see the Pixel got up to 25% charge in under 15 minutes, and during that time, charging speeds were pretty steadily sitting between 23 and 25 watts. And speeds stay at that steady rate until we hit 50% charge, which the phone achieves in under 30 minutes. So the phone can indeed pull a 50% charge in 30 minutes, as Google claims, at least for the first 50%. After the 50% mark, we now start to see charging speeds gradually drop, and once we get to the 60% charge mark, we see speeds drop into the teens. Once we hit 75%, charge speeds have dropped to 14 watts, and a short bit after that, charge speeds drop into the single digits. And at the 1-hour mark of our little test, we are at 83%, which means the second half hour pulled a 33% charge compared to the first half hour's 50% charge. That is a pretty significant decline in speed, but what might be even more alarming is the Pixel is telling us that the final 17% of the charge is going to take another full hour. If this holds true, that would mean that there is a 66% difference in charge obtained between the first hour of charge and the second. Let's see if this actually holds true. And at the 95% charge mark, we really see the trickle charge in full effect, seeing speeds dip down to 2 watts. Full charge is achieved at about the 1 hour and 49-minute mark, so the last 17% actually only took 49 minutes, not an hour. So better than the phone predicted, but still not good. Clearly, the phone greatly slowed down towards the end of the charge. However, you could argue that this is somewhat expected due to the fact that adaptive charging on the Pixel was turned on. Now we are going to repeat the last half of the charge test, charging from 50% to 100%, but this time we are going to turn adaptive charging off to see if that makes a difference. For those of you who don't know, adaptive charging slows down the phone's charge speeds towards the end of the charging cycle to preserve battery health. So the theory is turning off adaptive charging should help with the overall charging speed of the device. Let's see if this holds true. If the results are the same as last time, it should take about 1 hour and 20 minutes to reach full charge. So we start where the last test left off, with the phone charging in the 23 to 25 watt range. And like last time, around the 60% mark, we see speeds dip down into the teens. And also like before, at 75%, we see speeds drop to 14 watts, with single-digit speeds soon to follow. Finally, to complete the deja vu experience, after 95% charge, speeds eventually dip into the 2-watt range. And we hit full charge at 1 hour, 12.5 minutes, about 7.5 minutes faster than with adaptive charging turned on. So the crazy thing is, while turning off adaptive charging did help a little bit with speeds, it certainly didn't help much. I mean, the difference is actually small enough you could probably chalk it up to margin of error. Also, for the record, the phone apparently adjusts the adaptive charging rate based on the phone's alarm wake-up time. And I did run some more tests off camera to see if changing the alarm time changed charging times or speeds. And long story short, it didn't. So what did we learn today about the Pixel 6 Pro's charging speeds? We learned that Google's claims of 50% charge in 30 minutes is technically true, even if the phone never takes full advantage of the 30-watt charger. We also learned that the phone is able to pull an over 80% charge in an hour, and while that is far from industry leading, it's actually not as terrible as some people have made it out to be. Most of the charging slowdown occurred in the final 20% of the charge, and this seemed to happen whether or not adaptive charging was on or off, and I actually think that is the issue. Clearly, the phone significantly reduces charging speeds as it achieves a fuller charge, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, as it will help protect the long-term health of your battery. The problem is you're supposed to be able to turn off the adaptive charging feature, and turning it off really doesn't seem to do much, to the point that it almost seems like a placebo. To fix this issue, Google simply needs to actually let users truly turn off adaptive charging, or perhaps give it different settings that allow you to control how aggressively charging is throttled. The other option would be to go the Samsung route. One UI 4.0, Samsung's version of Android 12, allows you to protect your phone's battery by limiting the maximum charge to 85%. Which is a much more simple solution, although it does have the downside of starting your day with less juice. Well, that's all the information I have for one day. If you have a Pixel 6 or a Pixel 6 Pro, please feel free to share your experiences with the phone, charging or otherwise, down in the comments. As always, I do hope you found the video useful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.